Welcome to Tony Byrne's View with news you can use. Tony has over 32 years of experience as a chartered financial planner and wealth manager. Tony's passion is to help you retire early and live the life of your dreams with no financial worries. Now to today's episode.
How to save a minimum 5-figure sum on your mortgage repayments. At the time of writing, the Bank of England has just announced a 0.5% increase in the base rate from 1.25% to 1.75%. That's a rise of 40%. Alarm bells are ringing as the Bank of England predicts CPI inflation will rise to 13%, and there will be a long recession of more than 12 months. To me, this is the usual doom and gloom prediction of an organisation that ought to know better. The Bank of England, along with so many other global institutions, has a long track record of getting its predictions wrong, so I wouldn't lose too much sleep over their latest forecasts. Do I know what is going to happen next? Well, of course not. I'm a financial planner, not a clairvoyant. Could any of us have predicted the coronavirus pandemic 3 years ago, the Russian war in Ukraine 12 months ago, or such high inflation and large rises in interest rates just 6 months ago? Well, of course not. What I can do, though, is discuss the probability of future events occurring, but not the timing of them based on past experience of similar situations. What is more than likely going to happen is that inflation will continue to rise and the base rate will have to be increased quite a lot to bring it under control. It is the main way of reining in inflation because it slows down economic activity by reducing spending by both businesses and individuals. I recall inflation in the high 20% range at one stage in the 70s and the base rate reaching 17% at the end of that decade. Do you think interest rates and inflation couldn't reach such high levels again? Think again. I'm not predicting inflation and interest rates will reach the same giddy heights as in the 70s, but you never know. What I do believe is that a significant hike in interest rates is on the cards. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see the base rate reaching 5 to 6% and maybe even 9 to 10%. If interest rates do rise to this level, hopefully inflation will start to fall within, say, 12 to 24 months, in which case the base rate could be reduced by several percentage points. So short-term pain for long-term gain. Some people, mostly younger people in my experience, believe the Bank of England wouldn't do this because it would be ruinous for mortgage holders. But it is something they have to do, otherwise the consequences for all of us would be much worse and more prolonged. It's a bit like taking a medicine you don't like when you're ill, but you take it anyway because you know it will make you feel better even though the taste is awful. The good news is that the majority of property owners would be unaffected by a large increase in the base rate. Why is this? Well, approximately 50% of the UK population own property mortgage-free. Of the rest, about a third have fixed interest rate mortgages. Worryingly, that still leaves about a third of property owners in a precarious position with variable interest rate mortgages, but all is not lost. Most of such borrowers should be able to convert their variable rate mortgages to fixed rate ones. I would suggest a term of at least 5 years for most people, though I personally know some borrowers who have opted for 10-year fixed rate mortgages. Fixed rate mortgages aren't right for everyone. They are ideal if you plan to not sell your property for the duration of the fixed rate term. If you have to repay your mortgage before the fixed rate period has expired, it will result in early repayment penalties, which can be large, especially for a 10-year fixed rate mortgage. They are also bad news if interest rates were to fall during the term, but that seems highly unlikely, as the base rate is still historically extremely low at 1.75% compared to its 300 plus years record. The average UK mortgage debt in 2021 was £137,934. The average price for a house in March 2021 was £231,855. This was a 2% increase from March 2020. For simplicity, let's say the average mortgage today is £140,000 based on an average property valuation of, say, £250,000. The standard variable rate currently is about 5%. a 5-year fixed rate should be achievable at a rate of, say, 3%. So even before interest rates rise, a saving of 2% or £2,800 per annum can be made. That's calculated as £140,000 average mortgage times 2% saving. Over 5 years, that represents a saving of £14,000, which is the said £2,800 a year times 5, a not inconsiderable amount. If variable mortgage interest rates were to double to, say, 10% over the next 5 years, then the annual saving would be 7%. That's 10% minus 3% on a 5-year fixed rate mortgage compared to a variable rate one. A saving of £9,800 could be made. That's £140,000 times the 7% saving. This equates to a saving of £49,000 in total over 5 years, which is the £9,800 per annum saving times 5. So if you do have a variable rate mortgage and you do not intend to sell your property for at least 5 years, do seriously consider converting your mortgage to a fixed rate one for at least 5 years. You know it makes sense.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to share it with your friends and family. For more information, head to www.wealthandtax.co.uk.